All right, welcome back to the Standing Room Only podcast. This is episode number 21, a little bit different of a setup for this week. We are at our homes, respecting the stay-at-home order. I did see Dustin earlier, though, as had to give him the equipment, so we are able to do this weekly again. We're able to record from our homes every single week, and the quality should be still solid. Maybe not as crisp as before, but it with the quality should be great with the mics that we're using here.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. As Healy pointed out, we did get pretty close to each other. It took everything inside of me to not hug him, shake up with him, dab him up, whatever it may be. I don't remember the last time we recorded an episode. It's definitely been a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks at this point. I don't
March
know.
10th.
March 10th. So
So
that's pretty much since the 2-week stay-at-home order, which obviously, as we know, got extended again to the end of March, end of April.
yeah,
I mean, hopefully everybody's practicing it, staying safe, staying healthy, wash your hands. I mean, you've heard it all, just got to make sure that you stay safe and keep practicing it. If everybody does it, we can get over this madness, whatever it is.
definitely a weird time in history. This is gonna be one
Weird.
of the time. This is gonna be a time that gets remembered for the rest of our lives and for time to come. This virus is just going around. It's deadly. It's super infectious and causing a lot of panic in the world. And we just have to stay at home. There's so many people out of jobs right now. It's weird how we could possibly be getting paid from the government. How you don't have to pay certain things right now with utilities and stuff. It's just very weird time and almost feels like we're in a movie or something.
That's literally how I describe it, how I've been describing it, because I'm blessed enough to still work from home. I have clients, that I talk to on a daily basis. And that's the number one, pretty much the only way we describe it. It feels like it's a movie. It feels weird. It's everything you see in the movies. Um, Nothing like this really has happened for almost 100 years. And
Since the
I mean,
Spanish flu.
yeah, the Spanish flu. And so we've been talking about it throughout history. This is making its mark and it'll be in the history books. It's up there. It's life. Hopefully we'll go back to normal. I The assumption is it won't be the same, but I think the biggest thing is we all just kick back, relax, find a hobby, whatever it may
Yeah.
be. I picked up the sticks,
Yeah,
so I
you're
started
you're
game.
back to gaming.
I
and, I,
gamed a little bit.
and I'm doing fitness stuff now.
I know you're doing the fitness shit, and I'm sitting here gaming. I'm over here trying to do it all, but yeah, it's just trying to keep your mind busy. I have a book that I've read not too long ago, actually, that I'm going to read again. It's called The Secret. It's all about the law of attraction, how you have mind power to work with the energy of the world to bring to you whatever you want. It's a good book. You should go read it. So that's on my agenda. On top of whenever I get some downtime, maybe I'll game, I'll read up. I have certificates for my job that I have to do. So there's a lot that we can do. Just stay inside.
Yeah.
Just whatever it is, just do it.
Yeah.
Nike, don't just ignore the Adidas hat that I'm wearing.
And yeah, some of the struggle with staying inside right now is it was a lot easier for people beforehand with TV shows and sports and stuff. All that's out the window. You have to
I
watch
know.
movies and stuff. Luckily, I play video games, so it hasn't been as bad for me. Just I imagining someone who doesn't play video games at all or like playing video games, they must be super bored right now.
My girlfriend was off work today, so she's at home, and I kept hearing her randomly laughing in the other room watching a Netflix show. So that's what it's come down to. I don't know. It's whatever you can do. Like I said, I picked up the sticks. I had no choice. I haven't gamed
Hmm.
in forever. 2K, Call of Duty, see me on there. We'll play live.
You'll be better next time we match up in 2K.
Um, first of all, I had sprained my hand that day.
Oh, yeah.
No, Healy, he bent me over pretty bad, but yeah. So, like you said, man, I feel bad for people who don't game. I mean, I still haven't really been. I'm not trying to game that much because
Mhm.
I still spend time, like I said, with my
Yeah.
girl, or I find myself taking 30 minutes and I'm like sitting there petting her cats each, and I'm like, I was never a cat guy before we got our place or whatever it may
Yeah.
be. And now I catch myself like petting her cat. And I'm like, what happened? Like that's never been me ever. So it's pretty interesting. It's kind of weird concept. It's like when life is normal, we're like, I don't want to go out. But now that we're forced to stay in, it's like shit, I don't want to stay in. It's like we always want to do the opposite.
Yeah, people always want what they can't have.
Yep.
And
So
like for me, I'll go out like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Now that I'm inside, I'm like, I can't even go out and get food. I can, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to go out and drive through. Go out and get food, go out and hang out with friends, go to events, just be
events, man.
outside in
Yeah.
general. So because of that, I told Dustin earlier I got a Fitbit, and I start off my morning every day going on like a 4 mile walk. I've been getting more into running lately, trying
It's
to
huge.
be able to like run consistently. But right now it's just walking, and I do about 4 miles in the morning. Feel great afterwards, and then I just focus on school and work. Luckily for me, I upload videos, so I already work from home. That's good.
Yeah, so for anybody who games or loves baseball or is bored at home and just wants something to watch and enjoys gaming, the Healy 6 on YouTube makes awesome MLB The Show content. He is one with the community, well known. Check his stuff out. I figured why not promote you while we're talking about gaming and sports all in all right now. So if you guys are, have some time, check out some of his content. Like I said, he makes some pretty dope stuff, so
Speaking of gaming, because there's no sports, a lot of channels right now are showing video games. Like this Friday on ESPN.
yep.
ESPN, they're having a 16-player NBA 2K tournament with
That's
Kevin
awesome.
Durant being in it, Trae Young being in it, DeMarcus
Boogie.
Cousins,
Yep.
Darren Fox might also be in it. I'm not entirely sure. But just
It's
the
a
fact,
whole list of high profile basketball players, which I think is awesome. Like we need entertainment. And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's for us gamers, I think it's gonna be fun. I
mm-hmm,
mean, I personally like I said, I haven't really gamed that much like I used to back in the day, but to see these guys get together and interact and sure, it's a video game and it's simulated ish kind of, right? But I it's entertainment. I can gamble on this.
yeah. And it's just fun seeing the athletes that we watch be able to play something and be a little more relatable to people that actually play video games. Last week, MLB The Show and Major League Baseball did like a 4-player tournament, which included Blake Snell, Hunter Pence, Amir Garrett, and Trevor May. They played in like a 4-player tournament, single elimination. So there's 3 total games played. They each played 5 innings. They played the ultimate team mode, which is basically card collecting, and each team has an overall, or each player has like an overall, based off like their stats from the past few seasons. But each player got their own 99 exclusive card, which was awesome to see. Like Blake Snell had his own 99 starting pitcher. Amir Garrett got his own 99 reliever. Hunter Pence had his own right field card that was a 99. It was just awesome to see those guys gaming. And the last one, the largest ever televised esport video game session was iRacing. I don't know if you've seen that, but on Fox Sports, and this past weekend they showed it on Fox Sports and Fox. It's called iRacing. and it's the most realistic driving simulator out there. These guys are set up. They have their own racing chair. They have their own pedals. They have their own racing steering wheels with like 3 monitors that like go around them, so they're able to like look around. And it's as realistic as it can get. The tracks are down to like a millimeter or something with bumps and everything. And some guys that actually do NASCAR today and like IndyCar or whatever, they are doing that because they started off on iRacing. It's that realistic that you could be so good at iRacing that they could put you in an actual race car and you'll perform the same.
That's nuts. And so this is on Fox and Fox Sports.
Yeah, they started off on Fox Sports, and then this past weekend they showed it simultaneously on Fox and Fox. And they have guys like Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt, really notable guys. They all have their own setups at their house. Thousands of dollars that they had to spend on these.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But
That's
they,
kind of badass.
yeah, some of them stream on Twitch, like going that route. A lot of athletes right now, this is like probably their only time in history where they could stream video games on Twitch without having people, or like say that they're streaming on Twitter and have people be like, yo, like go put in some more reps for your sport. Yo, go get better. And people can't really complain for them because they have to be home right now.
Yeah, they can't trash talk.
And all these athletes have time, so they're gonna stream on Twitch and stuff. Like Willie Calhoun and Joey Gallo from the Texas Rangers are streaming. There was Darren Fox, I believe. Madden's hosted like a tournament.
Yeah, Madden has one. I saw that.
They're running one today with like Tyreek Hill went up against Tyrann Mathieu. Derwin James beat Michael Vick the other day, like 80 to like 16 or something.
Oh gosh.
You have like Blake Snell, Trevor May, football players. I don't necessarily know, but it's a lot of baseball players like Carlos Rodon of the White Sox. He's been streaming. Derek Holland, all these guys getting their fix in on Twitch. And with everyone being home, I saw like a stat that Twitch's viewer base is like doubled just because of everyone being home.
I can see that, especially when all these athletes started gaming, and I've seen videos of Giannis with all 3 of his NBA brothers.
Yeah,
Like
they're playing
they're all
FIFA.
gaming. So I think it's pretty interesting how the sports world is like, well, how else can we get any sort of sports? It's competition is what it is
Yeah,
realistically. It's the competition that brews inside the athlete that's like, well, let's run it.
yeah.
Let's do it. Like we're gonna run it. I'm gonna get my 2K revenge against you here sooner or later.
Yeah,
Whenever we might stream that
eventually.
live. Maybe we'll put like I don't know, maybe we'll put something together. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting to see. It's kind of cool to see that people are
Yeah.
still finding ways to stay busy and whatever it may be during these crazy times.
And with like normally in the past, a lot of NBA players, they'll play 2K. A lot of football players, they'll play Madden. Baseball players, they don't normally play MLB The Show because when MLB The Show comes out, it's closer to the regular season, and a lot of these guys, they're playing it every single day, and their schedules are a lot more compact, I believe, or like they're more busy compared to like football players or NBA players.
You're always traveling. You
NBA,
have like you have like no time to do anything
yeah,
almost.
like NBA players, you'll be traveling, but you'll have like a day off. You'll have 2 days off, maybe. You'll have back to backs here. Baseball players, they play 5 to 6 days a week, most of the
Yep.
time 6, and they're at the park like for at least 8-10 hours. You would think they don't want to
Yeah,
come home
they're
and play MLB The Show.
no,
So
I'm kicking my
now
feet up.
So now that they have free time and it's baseball season and they're not able to play baseball, all these athletes or MLB players are playing MLB The Show. And it's awesome to see because it's getting more eyes on the game, more people interested in buying it. I saw Pete Alonso. I saw David Dahl's wife tweet out. She was like, "Oh, it's like 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. I hear David talk about this nice run he was having and what he needs to work on." And he was talking about his Road to the Show character and how he has like 39 homers and like 100 RBIs on the season on the video game. Like
She's
Gavin
learning from it
Lux.
too.
Yeah. Gavin Lux, top prospect for the Dodgers. He's been playing the game. Like Joey Gallo, Willie Calhoun, like I mentioned before. There's just all these baseballers playing MLB. I think that's great, especially for me who I upload it. So
That's your forte right there. That's your domain, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty
mhm.
cool though. I mean, you've actually become friends with some players in the league that play too from there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I got followed by Willie Calhoun and Joey Gallo the other day. Gavin
Oh, no
Lux,
way.
yeah, yeah. Gavin Lux actually followed me as well, and he was asking for like Diamond Dynasty help. I need to get a game in with some of these guys and put up videos playing them. Just talk about life with them. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, dude, that'd be awesome. Yeah, because I already knew that you had a couple of guys that you've been friends with from the gaming world,
Yeah.
like um you Kyle Long and some other people that you're friends with now just from the gaming world, which is pretty cool. I mean, I admire that.
Hmm.
Just a couple dudes just sitting back gaming. Hey, what are you up to? Nothing, just I'm a pro player,
Yeah.
whatever. So it's pretty badass. But is there do we have sports? I don't think there's nothing going on. Well, baseball. You said there was some baseball news, right?
In Major League Baseball news, every single minor leaguer is going to get $400 a week until I can't remember the exact date. It might be sometime in May. Yeah, $400 a week. Not much, but at least they're getting paid, especially because some of these minor league guys, they don't get paid anything during the season
Anything, yeah.
regardless. So, like, this is their time where they put some of this, like, they might have jobs in the off season. This is their time where they have to, like, put those jobs aside and get to work. But now they're like they don't know when they're going back to work, so are they gonna get a job or whatever? But $400 is nice. Also in Major League Baseball news, the London series officially got canceled. There's supposed to be Cubs Cardinals in London in like June or July. That's officially canceled. And then Shin-Soo Choo of the Texas Rangers, he has agreed to give every minor leaguer in the Rangers organization $1,000. So 190,000 of his dollars are going towards the minor leaguers, which is awesome. So those guys are going to get 1,000 plus they're going to get 400 a week. It'd be awesome to see some other major league guys who are getting paid a lot, like millions of dollars.
Like
Like,
$30 million a year, give up a million. That'd
well,
be
not even that. All Chu had to give up was
was it 100
190,000.
190,000, yeah. And that goes a long way for these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
So so that's that. And then we had the NFL, right? We
Oh
had
yeah.
we have not talked in a while. It's been,
We
like we
stopped
said,
the
2,
week
almost 3
before
weeks.
free agency.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm sure the world already knows the free agent moves. A lot of good moves, some questionable moves. One of the moves that we can start with, since we are in the Chicagoland area, the Chicago Bears signed former Super Bowl MVP
Well, they traded for
quarterback,
him.
or excuse me, they traded for him, Nick Foles. Good move or bad move? How do you feel about that?
At first, I thought it was a bad move because he signed a big contract. He's still signed for a few more years. Like, who knows like how good he'll actually be. But with some of the things they've done, I feel like it's a good move. They restructured his contract. So he's no longer getting paid all that money. He also can get released after this year. with no penalty if they want.
Team option, right?
Yeah. So they have an option at the end of the year, pretty much, if they want to keep him or cut him. They don't have to hold on to him, which is the big reason why I disliked it. And let's just say Trubisky comes out, he doesn't play well. Well, they have Nick Foles they can go to. There's going to be a QB competition. I think Trubisky is still the number one, and he has a pretty big lead, like over Foles. I just don't. Just in the off chance Trubisky is like, okay, yeah, we can't keep running with Trubisky. You get the option of having Nick Foles be your quarterback. And if he does well, you have him for at least a couple more years. What about you? What did you think of it?
I completely agree. The reconstruction of the contract. Nick Foles has been there, done that. Again, Super Bowl MVP with the Eagles, took over when Carson Wentz went down. He's shown time in and time out that as long as there's a good system in place,
Mm-hmm.
not only are the numbers there, but they win football games. I know
Yeah,
he was when he was bouncing around, he was in Jacksonville, did not go well for him. To be fair, Jacksonville is a horrible franchise. It's shit. It's literally shit. So many number one picks that just went nowhere. They've had potential with Blake Bortles, and it just was bad. You
their
can't look
defense.
at Nick Foles. You can't look at that. You take the talent that's already in Chicago,
Yeah,
you're heating up the competition for Trubisky. Trubisky, in his mind, he's like, well, shit, if I get benched, where else am I going to go? It looks bad on your resume. So, sure, Trubisky is the number one right now. I agree. I don't see how he's not. But week 2, week 3 rolls around. Trubisky's doing what Trubisky did in 2019. Hey, Nick Foles, you've been in this position before as a backup and led a team to Super Bowl. Get out there, do it again. Do it again.
yep. Especially with the
So that's how I
defense.
look at it.
Especially with the Bears' defense. They have
Oh
a
yeah,
decent offense too.
it's not bad. It's not bad. Wait for it. I'm telling David Montgomery is not a bad running. He's a good running back. They just never established their identity on offense. They showed signs of it throughout the year, but they never established it. Never established a great passing game. They never established a great run game. They played from behind, so they couldn't run the ball that much. Trubisky never really scrambled out till we saw late in the season. If they can just establish, for one, Trubisky as a quarterback, to let him do him, let Trubisky scramble, throw on the run, be a playmaker, that's going to open the door for other players to step up. You're going to have somebody open down the field when a quarterback scrambles out. You can run draws to the running back by doing that, by opening up the pass game, and it's going to open up the run game more, and you're going to establish time management night in, night out, along with the good defense. And time management's key on the offense. If you're 3 and out running 5-yard screen passes, well, now you're moving the football. Now you're keeping your defense fresh. Keep them off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Have Khalil Mack out there when you need him. Because we saw Khalil Mack gets tired fast, and so did the rest of that defense. They were beat up. They did great. They're a great defense, but they were on the field a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're playing from behind. There's nothing. I mean, I think their defense still top 5 in my eyes in the NFL, especially with the additions that they got this year. And I don't see how. I mean, I don't see how they don't go 10-6 and sneak into the playoffs with this new
At
playoff
least,
format.
yeah.
You know,
And like so Mitch Trubisky, he'll have two driving factors for him this year. One, Nick Foles. He could get benched this. Chase
yep,
Daniel isn't there. Not like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna get benched for Chase Daniel. Also, contract year for Mitch Trubisky. So Mitch
exactly.
needs to prove himself. Otherwise, he might not even have a job after next year. Or
That's my
he's just
point.
going to be a backup for the rest of his career. So, like, for the Bears, like I said, if Mitch fails and Foles does well, they just hold on to Foles for the next couple years. Maybe they try drafting another quarterback in that time as well. But Mitch Trubisky, he'd be done. He'd be off the team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. His resume is good. You're a winner or you're not. Like that's I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You've been in the league a few years, you have not won. You've thrown you can't even look at its stats at that point. You can't say, "Oh, you've thrown this amount of interceptions, this amount of touchdowns." No, we've watched your gameplay and you actually suck and you lose games. So, hey, you can come in. We're going to sign you to a real small contract as a backup. Sure, he'll thrive as a backup. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is the year for him, and I don't see him underperforming again.
Hmm. Sticking with Bears signings, they signed Jimmy Graham.
They did
Huge
get Jimmy
hole,
Graham.
huge hole for the Bears was tight end. They used to have Heath Miller, right? Or Zach Miller. Zach Miller.
Zach Miller, yeah, a few
Before he
years
went
back.
down. Trey Burton was okay, but
Trey Burton was supposed to be great.
he didn't do anything. Shaheen didn't do anything. This was
Shaheen
a
didn't, yeah.
big, big hole.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't think they could necessarily block too well, but two, a tight end is quarterback's best friend. They are there for the easy 5 yard pass if need.
Usually. Yeah.
They
Yep.
normally have the size. They can normally run routes, and like if there are 1 or 2 routes that they look at aren't open, you just dump it off to the tight end.
Yeah, I love how Packers and Bears players like to just swap uniform.
Yeah, without going to a different team first. They,
Exactly. So, haha, Clinton Dix goes to Chicago, to Green Bay. Then
mhm.
you had Julius Peppers go from the Bears to Green Bay back a few years back, and so many, so many. But I think that was a huge signing. I hope he has a good year. I mean, well, personally, I hope I hope he's okay and they go 10-6 and the Green Bay Packers go 12-4. Um, but I think that was a good signing. I also think Robert Quinn was a
That was
huge signing
big,
as well. That was a
huge
big signing.
contract though.
Yeah, because Leonard Floyd never stepped up to be the Leonard Floyd that everybody was waiting. He's good. He's very athletic. But Robert Quinn has established himself as a great end. He gets in, he makes big plays. 5 years, 70 mil. Give it to him. Well deserved.
It's also wild how like Leonard Floyd, it wasn't like, okay, Leonard's a free agent, whatever, let's bring him. He was actually on contract, I believe, for next year, and there's like, okay, you're done.
Yeah, they cut him.
We just aren't bringing you back. He had the size and the athleticism, like you said. He just never got to that like Khalil Mack type level where he made an impact every single time.
Exactly. I mean, he might be good over in where he signed where? Is he in Washington or something? Something weird.
I don't know. I'll tell you that in just a moment. He signed with right now it's saying he's the Rams.
Oh, he's St. Okay, not St. Louis. Ha. Los Angeles. Los Angeles Rams.
Oh yeah. You did say St. Louis. Oh, Robert
Yeah.
Quinn was with he was with the Cowboys last. No, yeah, he was. Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, Quinn goes to the Bears, Boyd goes to the Rams. Interesting. He goes to another good defense, which is good.
That is good. The Rams are another team that barely missed out on the playoffs last year, and with the new playoff format, they would have actually been in the playoffs if
Yeah.
you know. So, um, I mean, I want to touch base on it. I think it was a huge, huge signing for Green Bay. They let go of Blake Martinez, middle linebacker, and they decided let him go. He signed with the Giants. The Green Bay Packers signed Christian Kirksey from Cleveland. I'm pretty sure like led the league in tackle, young, talented, strong. I think that's a huge signing for them. So Green Bay did add to the defense. They did sign Devin Funches on the offense. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see. Maybe Aaron Rodgers will revive his career.
Yeah.
Not that they really need all the receivers because they are very talented on the offensive side. Um, but yeah, so just wanted to touch base on the Bears and the Packers. And I think one notable free agent that we talked about a couple of times kind of signed with a team that I didn't really expect,
No,
but I like it.
the
And that
Tampa Bay
is
Bucks.
Sir Tom Brady, TB12, signs a pretty nice contract with Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Great receivers. He's probably got easily 2 of the top 5 receivers in the game, right?
Yeah.
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, when
Hmm.
healthy, these guys are great.
They both had 1,000 yards last year. They had Jameis Winston behind, who led the
Just
league in passing yards. He had a bunch of touchdowns. It's just his interceptions not there, which is pretty good for Jameis. Like, it's a pretty good sign for Tom Brady if Jameis Winston was able to do that last.
exactly. They played from behind. So I would not say this team is automatically a 12-4 team just because
Yeah.
they have old man, Brady. It They have a smarter head on the field, right?
Hmm.
So again, it goes along with time management. I feel like just being under Belichick in that system, he can kind of bring in. It's almost like LeBron when he goes somewhere. LeBron
Yeah.
wants to be in control because LeBron knows how to win. LeBron's smarter than almost any coach in the league. Let's just
Yeah.
face it. He's a mastermind. People hate that he goes wherever he wants and he's in control, but I mean, the dude knows how to win. Sorry to say it.
Hmm.
I mean, he doesn't have that many championships, but that's that's a whole
Yeah.
different story. But Brady knows what he's doing, and Brady's like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna work with great talent, young core. The defense isn't the worst. I mean, they've gotten better over the last
Hmm.
couple of years.
Is there Coach Bruce Arians?
Is he still in Tampa? I don't even know. I can tell you right
So,
now that
yeah, he
Tampa Bay
is.
Buccaneers is Bruce Arians, and Bruce Arians is not a bad coach either.
No, he is not.
So
He was with the Cardinals for a little bit. They had a couple great seasons. He only finished below 500 twice, and once was 2016, 7-8-1, and once was this past year, 7-9.
so that's not bad. It's manageable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Tom Brady away from winning 3 more games.
Yeah, and I found it funny. I saw a report that Tom Brady actually was recruiting to the Bucks to sign him. Not the
Yeah,
other way
he
around. It wasn't
he
the
pitched.
Bucks.
Yeah, he pitched. That's what I heard too.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Tampa Bay. He thought it was the right fit, and he went to them and was like, "Yo, this is why you need to sign me." He wasn't waiting around and was like, "Yo, come to me with offers and like give your speeches or whatever, your presentations, and then I'll decide here and there." He's like, "No, I am looking for the best fit. I'm still trying to win. Tampa Bay feels right."
And
And
the NFC
because
South too of all divisions. I feel like NFC South got super strong. They added Brady. They had Does Cam Newton, is he still a Panther? Has he not gotten traded yet?
I still think he's under the Panthers. But he won't be their quarterback this. They signed Teddy
No.
Bridgewater.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater goes there. The
The
Saints,
Falcons,
yeah, the Falcons got better. They got
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley, and then the Saints got Emmanuel Sanders to add. And Emmanuel Sanders had a decent year for somebody
Mm-hmm.
who didn't he tear his Achilles like a
A
couple
lot,
years
yeah,
ago,
a few years
two,
ago.
3 years ago, or his
Yeah.
ACL or something. I mean, that dude has been showing a lot of good signs over in Denver and the 49ers, where he hasn't had an elite quarterback since Peyton
Manning.
Manning, since Manning.
Mm-hmm.
So football, I pray into the football gods, to all the sports gods. I've been pretty good. I've been a saint this last, I don't know, I'm a saint, right? If y'all can just power up against this COVID-19, I just really want a football season on time. Please, thank you. Anyways, the season is going to be so fun to watch
Yeah.
with the NFC South. I mean, Tom
Yeah.
Brady's not even in the AFC.
Yeah, that's one huge thing. The AFC up for grabs. It's
Yep.
probably Mahomes conference now.
Mahomes
Also,
is, yeah,
when you were talking about the NFC, it clicked in my head. We get to see Brady versus Breeze twice a year at
twice a
least.
year. That's badass. I love it. I love it. And then I don't even know. Do we have the Bucks schedule up? Do we have the Tampa Bay
I
Bucks
don't
schedule?
know if they did the NFL schedule. 2020, 2020. That normally comes
They,
out. Did they?
I don't know. They'll have the opponents.
Yeah, they have the opponents. So Tampa Bay, their schedule is they all right. So they're playing all their NFC South guys. They play the Bears at Soldier Field.
Ooh,
Ooh, we get that might be a game to go see. They play the Broncos. They play the Lions, the Giants, the Raiders, which was a big destination where he could have gone. They play
yep.
the Packers, the Vikings, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Rams.
These are some good matchups.
Yeah, their schedule next year, nuts. And Tom Brady, every single game is going to be must watch just because he's no longer with New England.
Yeah. I mean, this is literally gonna define his legacy. Everybody's always saying the duo of Belichick and Tom Brady. Who is the mastermind? I still think the Patriots are gonna be good because Brady's gone down before and they were good. Is Brady gonna lead the Bucks in this very tough division? I say if he gets them to the playoffs, that does it right there because this team isn't that great. They're good.
And he's in the NFC. The NFC is a tough conference.
Oh, it's tough right now. It's very tough. There's so many good teams. So many good teams. It would have been cool if he had 49ers on, but he does play Pat Mahomes at home.
Yeah,
Um, I think this is going to be a fun season for Brady. I'm not. I don't think I'll end up going to Soldier Field to watch the game, but
it
I
depends
do
at
have a lot
what
of.
time.
It depends on the time. Yeah, and I'd rather go watch Green Bay in Tampa.
Hmm.
I would love to take a trip to Tampa. That'd be pretty nice. See Aaron Rodgers go up against Tom Brady. They don't play each other very often.
Yeah,
So
definitely don't.
I like that schedule. I'm excited. I'm very excited for this team.
Yeah, we just have to hope that the season starts on time. The rule changes for the NFL this year. New playoff format. Are they doing 17 games?
They did not add any extra games. From what I'm
Ooh,
seeing,
okay.
they for sure changed. So they what we talked about a few weeks ago for any new listeners, they're changing the playoff format. They're
Hmm.
adding an extra wild card team.
Yeah,
So there's going to be 7 teams in total with one team getting a bye for each conference, best record.
yeah.
So it's still the same amount of weeks for the NFL season. So it's going to be 16 games, 17 weeks, and the playoffs is still the same amount of time.
Okay.
So they're adding an extra team. One team gets a bye. So in round two, it's going to be the divisional rounds. Three is the conference, then the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
I like it. I know some players were not happy about it. I saw some players comment like shaking my head. And it's funny because I forgot who it was, but I'm pretty sure they were on the Jets or a team that's not even a playoff team. It's like, dude, be happy. You have a chance to make the
Yeah,
playoffs now with your trash ass and
exactly.
your trash ass team.
Hmm. Yeah, you're able to actually make the playoffs and add in an extra excitement. You have a better chance to win the Super Bowl now. Even if your team isn't as good, as long as you can make it and last to the playoffs, you have a chance to win. Win it all if you get lucky. Or
Exactly.
just catch a couple breaks. That's all you need.
That's literally what it's gonna come down to. So that's why it's gonna make it more competitive. So a lot of teams give up. Week 16, they're like, "Oh, let's start benching our guys." Week 17, let's start benching.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna play through 17 weeks because guess what? Rams, Bears, these guys could have easily been a playoff team if there was this rule implemented
Hmm.
in this past season. So I think it's good. It's good for the league. I don't know if they're gonna keep it. If they're not, maybe an injury happens to somebody major and they're like, shit, we don't want to do this anymore. Who knows? But I think it's worth a shot. Change is not bad. You don't know unless you try it. And I think it was nice that it got voted.
Yeah. The 17 games. I'm I'm still glad it's still 16.
Yeah,
Maybe it would have been cool if it was 17, but 16 games on an NFL player, that is rough. Just
that's
health
a lot.
wise.
That's a
Health
lot.
wise. Yeah, I'm glad that they still added in playoffs though.
Yeah, and it's gonna make it interesting. Only one team gets a bye now, so it's like from top to bottom, every team is gonna want that top seed, but
Hmm.
also every team does not want to drop and have, you know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah,
always from the bottom to the top. There's always somebody fighting for that position.
yeah.
So it'll be fun to watch. I'm like I said, I'm excited for this NFL season. I love fantasy football. I'm always in like 5 leagues. I always like to give my weekly FanDuel lineup. So I'm just excited for football. I'm excited for sports. I'm not saying I'm going stir crazy in here from this quarantine, but man, you can only look at 4 walls so much, you know?
Speaking of like betting and stuff and fantasy, DraftKings and like FanDuel especially, they've been having to pull stuff out of their ass to bet
They're
on.
doing it.
They did sim betting for NBA 2K where you were able to pick a lineup for NBA 2K and they simulated the game like live or something. Somewhere they did.
I was at the point where I was gonna have somebody come over or just like play a game, stream it on Instagram Live, and be like, "Look, this is random lineups. These are good lineups, up to date, $5 a game, something."
Mhm.
But yeah, I saw a Twitter post on that. That was hilarious.
Also FanDuel for like one of the debates or whatever happening, they had a game for that where certain words you had to build a lineup based off what you thought would be said and by
Yeah,
who, and you got like a
for
certain
Bernie
value.
and
Yeah,
yeah, all
and
the
Biden.
yeah,
It was like you had $100 to build your team, and like $50 was like Biden says quarantine, and like you have that as like your MVP spot, or
yeah,
you have like the next guy. They're just pulling. They need to pull
finding
something.
anything,
Hmm.
anything. Yeah, like you said, they're doing. I saw FanDuel's doing one for the 2K tournament. That's on Friday.
Oh.
Uh, yeah. So, and I think they're doing it for free too, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's worth a shot. You win. I think you can win like free tickets for when sports finally does come back around, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, I've always been. I'm usually an avid FanDuel. You know, if it's like free lineups or whatever it may be, I'll end up doing some sort of FanDuel lineup. But yeah,
Hmm.
everything's falling back to gaming, even
Yeah.
FanDuel.
Oh yeah. Was there any other big NBA or NFL news that we missed? There
I
was a
don't.
long time that we missed out on. Of course, we're just like, yeah, we'll wait until next week to do the free agency recap, but we had to wait, unfortunately.
One good thing, I don't know if it's the quarantine, but Antonio Brown's been out of the news.
He popped up today,
No way.
so it wasn't in the news. Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown were working out, and Antonio Brown was there as well,
Oh,
right? Working out with both.
no way.
I think he cleans up a little bit and he makes a comeback this year.
Oh, he's making a comeback. He'll sign a 1-year deal somewhere, give him like 4 mil. Nothing
He's
crazy.
Yeah.
Just to prove his point, and he's gonna ball out.
The trades. We didn't talk about the NFL trades.
Oh.
DeAndre Hopkins, David Johnson,
Oh.
switching spots.
Oh, man, straight up. That was wild. D Hop, I thought was forever gonna be a Texan.
And it was, I forgot what pick they got back. It wasn't even a first round pick.
No, I think it was like a 4th. It was nothing special.
No,
So, it was David Johnson
his whole
who
contract, too.
his whole contract. Yeah. And that's the thing, like, the Texans are really relying on Will Fuller and whoever else they have. I don't even know who else they have at receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kenny Stills?
Kenny Stills, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, maybe that's what they were missing is a run game. But they didn't have a bad run game. They had Carlos
Yeah.
Hyde, who was bad.
No.
And then you give Arizona who in their head is like, well, we have Edmonds at running back. We have a four, they had like a four-man running back committee. For
Mhm.
them, they just made out. They have Fitzgerald. They have now they have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Christian Kirk, I think, still.
Yeah,
Eh,
Kyler
uh,
Murray at quarterback.
Kyler Murray thrown to them, who's only gonna get better. He's a kid. Like the Cardinals, I'm not gonna say they're a playoff team, but down the road in 2 to 3 years, even after, Fitzgerald's gonna retire maybe after this year, we don't know.
Mhm.
But even without him, to have DeAndre Hopkins and that young talent around with Kyler Murray and a building defense, they very well could be back to a playoff team in the next year or 2.
It's just
They won that trade.
yeah, no doubt about it. It's pathetic how, 1, the Texans traded for a running back.
A
2, they
running back.
traded a top 5 wide receiver. 3, they didn't get back a first-round pick in any of their trades this year. And who'd they trade for, which they gave up, like, a pick?
It was before that trade, was it not?
Yeah, it was, like, during the season. I thought they
Yeah,
Kenny Stills and, Laramie Tunsil, I think they traded a first rounder.
yeah, and it was horrible. I don't know who is
Bill O'Brien.
oh, it was. It definitely was. Wasn't it to the Dolphins?
Yeah,
Yeah, and the Dolphins, yeah, and the Dolphins have, like, the picks, and
yeah. Yeah, that
so
too.
it's yeah, yeah. I don't know what they were thinking. David Johnson hasn't even healthy field.
No. I don't know what Bill, but that's why you don't let the coach become the GM as well.
That's yeah, yeah. That's who's the coach over there?
Bill O'Brien.
Oh, Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not that bad, I guess. That's bad. That's
hmm
bad.
And then
That's
the other big trade that went down, wide receiver, Stefan Diggs. He got
oh, he's a
traded.
Bill.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
traded to the Bills. They actually got the trade to go through this time, unlike last year with Antonio Brown. You remember that?
Who did?
The Bills traded for Antonio Brown for like 3 hours last
Oh,
year.
yeah, and they let him go. Yeah, Antonio Brown said, "I'm not playing for
Well,
the Bill."
yeah, and then they stopped the trade or whatever. But yeah, the Bills get a good wide receiver. The Vikings got a first round pick back, which shocking. Like, you would think
That's
after DeAndre Hopkins get traded for a first round pick, like, how don't you get a first round pick back? But anyways, Vikings get a first round pick back. They still have Adam Thielen in Minnesota. They might be drafting a wide receiver this year early on. We'll have to see. But the Bills, they got a good guy. Josh Allen gets another weapon.
Josh Allen, man. I think he's gonna come around. I've been talking him up for the past I thought last year was gonna be his year. For fantasy purposes, not this past season, but the season before, second half of NFL fantasy points, he like led the league for yeah, it was like the last 7, 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
This past season was not bad. Led the team to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they have a good defense. They just added Stephon Diggs. They haven't had a good while. Think they
Yeah,
had didn't they have John Brown?
they did. I don't know how
Yeah, I
good he
don't
was with them though.
he was pretty solid. He caught some deep balls. I think he ended up having like 7, 8 touchdowns, which I guess is like average nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have guys going off for 15 touchdowns, but yeah, that I completely forgot about the NFL trades. It's been that long,
Yeah, that you
but
just forgot about them.
yeah, it was still
Also,
mhm.
I was gonna say also another trade. Todd Gurley got traded to the Falcons.
We were talking we hit Todd Gurley going to the Falcons
Was he
at
traded? No, he
first.
was released.
He was
He
cut
was
and signed.
released and then signed.
He's still young.
25.
I I know his legs have been an issue since college, but if you can get him and figure out a way to limit his carries to like 18 a game, 2 years ago he went off. He went off for the Rams. I remember he personally beat me in my fantasy championship alone. He had like 48 points in like the championship round. I'll never forget that. Todd Gurley in Atlanta can do some things. That team can do some things. It'll open up the game. Maybe Julio Jones ends up having another huge year, and they're going to complement each other so well. I mean, a good pass game opens up the good run game. Good run game will open up a good pass game, play action, whatever it may be. So I think that was a huge, huge signing for them.
Yeah. Can't believe we almost missed out on the trades, especially the DeAndre Hopkins one. That
Yeah,
one,
that was the biggest news.
insane that even happened. And he seemed to be happy on Twitter with that. Uh Texans are a good team though, but I guess people might not like
Something wasn't working.
organizations or whatever.
Yeah, something wasn't working over there. I mean, Texans are a team where I feel like they should have at least made it to the dance at one point in the last
Mhm.
like 6, 7 years, but just goes to show.
Yeah.
And plus, you have Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, either or you're good as a receiver. It doesn't even your
Yeah.
numbers are
Yeah, and he's good enough to where he will get open and he'll just get forced the ball.
Yep. Yep. So
Switching over to NBA news, there's a little bit of news. It's awesome to hear a few players now have gotten cleared of the what's going around. Uh, they are officially cleared. It's been like a couple weeks. I think it's been 18 days without basketball. Wild stuff.
yeah, last game was like that night when they found out Rudy Gobert has it
Mm-hmm.
and they forced all the fans out of the stadium. That was scary to watch because that literally felt like a movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So
And so there's that. There's not really any other cases of people getting it that were in the NBA. I know James Dolan got it, but it's not no really players or officials. Doris Burke, I think, got it.
Dorsberg did get it. Yep.
So she was working with them. But yeah, it seems like they pretty much have that under control. A lot of NBA players are donating money for the workers that worked in the
Tons of money.
stadiums. Awesome to see. Awesome to see all these athletes providing for some of these workers that are out of a job right now because the sport can't be played.
Yeah, a lot of athletes are donating. A lot of organizations are donating. One thing, the Chicago Bulls donated, but I don't know. I was reading it and I was a little upset with how much they donated. Some small six-figure number. I mean, I can't say it's small, but
Yeah.
compared to like players and other organizations donating like millions or half a million for a player to donate versus the Bulls who donated like 300,000. And I don't know what else they're doing for the community or are the other people not working,
Mm-hmm.
but I just felt like they could have donated a little bit more, but that's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see everybody is pitching in because,
Yeah.
a lot of people, millions of people are without a job right now. Like I said, I'm blessed enough to still work and still get a paycheck and, you know, I'm lucky to have that. So it's nice to see that, everybody, it's bigger than sports.
Mm-hmm. What do you think happens when the season comes back? Do you think they play out the final? Was it 18 games?
I think you have to do I know the idea was jumping straight to the playoffs, which I don't think is a good idea
No,
because you have teams you can't just go to the playoffs.
no. Can't have guys like I know you work together with this team, but you just can't jump back in. Like, who knows how good a physical shape these guys are going to be in when they come back, and like in the rhythm and everything.
I would look at how many games back are guys from the 8th seed. If it's 18, then it's like, no. But if you're looking at like some guys that are only 3 games back from the 8th seed, like
Mm-hmm.
the Pelicans might be at this point, then maybe play 6 games, give them a chance to
Yeah.
make the playoffs. But then you're also going to allow the guys who are making the playoffs to play a couple games, get back in the rhythm, and you just don't want to force guys into heavy competition like that.
Yeah. When it finally matters.
Exactly. Now, do I think LeBron and Anthony Davis with fresh legs in the playoffs are scary, dangerous? Oh yeah. I think the Lakers, when the season comes back,
Oh, they're gonna be even scarier.
they're going to be scarier. And so are the Clippers. The Clippers too. Paul George being fresh is key right now
Mm-hmm.
because Paul George and Kawhi are two great defenders who can perhaps take the Lakers to game 7. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be huge. I definitely think you need to give them at least 6 games. Give it about a week or 2 of basketball. Let them get acclimated. Let them get acclimated to traveling too. It's not just playing. These guys
Yeah.
have to get they haven't traveled in weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So let them get used to that and just yeah, then go right into the playoffs after like 6 games. At that point, I would say it's definitely it's on at that point. So
Yeah, I think that's good. 6 games ish. You get a couple of weeks. We'll have to see. I think they will play it out and make sure that the season officially gets finished. We'll have to see what happens, what the repercussions are of next season. But yeah.
worst case scenario, they just cut into the summer league a little bit. Summer
Mm-hmm.
league lasts a couple of weeks anyways, so maybe I mean they might not even have to cut into the summer league because it's all young rookies
Yeah.
anyways, first and second year players. So
Maybe just cut out a little bit of the preseason. I don't know how many preseason games.
yeah, that's what they should do realistically. Preseason really isn't shit. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you still need like preseason. The purpose of preseason is to warm these guys up for actual
Mm-hmm.
competition.
And get your
So
roster.
I think they'll make it work. If they play the full 18 games, cool. So be it. It'll just push the NBA season another month, which is
Mm-hmm.
whatever at this point.
Yeah. This is if everything goes back to normal. I think they're also going to play games without fans for the remainder, which is
Yeah.
going to be a little weird, but I think it's needed, especially if they want this
Yeah.
to continue.
Yeah, they'll probably have so they have the official they have announced. I'm sure they're gonna have, the ESPN broadcast, TNC, whoever it is, and then they're gonna have, all these guys I'm sure get tested or already being tested. And, maybe some close family members in the stadium. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't traveling outside of the team, so it would be weird, but it's gotta get done somehow.
Yeah. We'll just have to see, keep up with the news, and go from there. Probably the last thing to talk about, the best news that a lot of people have been waiting for. The Last Dance got pushed up a couple months.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
yes,
Last
yes.
year, I
That
remember
was on my
seeing the
mind.
trailer for the Bulls since like 2020. It was not supposed to happen until June. Now it's
After the
happening
season.
April 19th, and they're having 2 episodes every single Sunday. So, what The Last Dance is, for people who don't know, it's the 97-98 season, and it's a documentary covering the Bulls. So much unseen footage finally coming to the public.
Yep.
Able to see Michael Jordan's last year with the Bulls and his last championship run. And I don't know what's happening, but you'll probably get to see a lot of drama. You'll see a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of stuff that hasn't ever been brought to light. And you'll get to see. I'm awesome. I'm excited to see it because
I'm super excited.
I didn't really get to watch Jordan growing up. I was born at the end of their run, so I'm excited to see all this footage, and it's gonna be like HD and stuff too for the most part. And
Yep.
you'll get to see guys' perspectives. I think Kobe's in it. Like they talked to him a little bit.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he did play in the mid to late 90s. He played against
Hmm.
Jordan. That'd
Yeah,
be see. I'm just excited because, well, for one, it's Chicago, and
yeah.
like you said, there's this historic like Jordan. You get to see every side of him, but also you get to see every side of Rodman. You get to see every side of Pippen. All these guys who are not just athletes; these are like celebrity athletes in the
Phil
90s. The
Jackson.
Bulls, Phil Jackson. I'm excited. I got the chills watching that trailer. Like you said, last year they're pushing it back, or pushing it up, I should say. It's April what, 15th or 16th?
April 19th.
19th. Okay.
So we still have a few weeks, but it's a lot closer than June something. So that is great. And like I said, they're doing 2 episodes every single Sunday. I don't think they were gonna do 2 episodes originally. ESPN needs to put on something. They need their ratings to get
Exactly.
higher. So why not release this now, especially when everyone's home? The ratings are probably going to be higher now than
It's
they
gonna
would have been.
ever. Exactly. So it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm tuning. I know a lot of people will be tuning in. A lot of people that don't even really probably watch sports that much are gonna tune in just because they know Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this week. We'll do it again next week. Probably won't be as long. Today was a long episode because we missed a few
Yeah,
weeks
we
and
had
we
to
are
catch
just
up.
yeah, we were just talking in general. Next week we'll have to see what happens in the sporting news. At least some stuff is happening with moves and everything. Maybe we'll talk about the draft or whatever. Yeah, if you guys have not followed us already on our personal pages, mine is at the Healy6. You can find Dustin.
I am iGoose. That's with 4 O's. Don't ask why. That's our personal Instagram. He's on Twitter as well. And the Standing Room Only podcast, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. Standing
Yeah,
Room Only. Go ahead, like, subscribe, download, leave a rating. Let us know how we're doing. If you like us, show some love. If you don't like us, let us know. And stay interactive. We're going to start being more active on social media again now that we're back. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Truly do wish everybody is safe and healthy and doing what they can to get by during these tough times. So we'll continue to push out content. So if you guys are looking to do something, or if you're bored around the house, whatever it may be, so I know you guys just love to hear us talk. I love to hear me talk. I love to see Healy's face. So it's you get a little bit of everything. So
yeah.
definitely make sure you tune in.
Yeah, we will see you guys next week with episode number 22.